Hey, it's Peter here, and like many of you, I was shocked and surprised to discover that the NSA is now eavesdropping on every man, woman, and child in America. Um, but I think we can all agree that, this is a good thing. First of all, anyone could be a terrorist, you know, anyone. Your mother, your, infant child, anyone. Also, if you don't have anything to hide, you don't really need privacy for anything. So, we can all agree on that. But what I am concerned about is that I've discovered an exploit that could allow a terrorist or another evildoer to access the internet fairly anonymously through pretty much any common uh, paid Wi-Fi hotspot, like the kind that you encounter at coffee shops, hotels, airports, places like that, not only without paying, but also, with since they didn't, render their credit card relatively untraceably. I'm going to describe the exploit, and hopefully, the government will patch it really soon. Uh, I have a new account here that I created that kind of simulates what it would look like if you had a new Mac. I don't really like the way it comes set up from the factory, but oh well. So if you go to your applications and your utilities, you can find a little program called Terminal. This program is really useful to, hackers and evildoers. Uh, so I've heard. So, let's say I want to find out what my MAC address is. Well, a MAC address is just what defines your computer. It tells the Wi-Fi router, what computer you have. So I would type ifconfig en1 pipe, which is just shift backslash grep ether. Oh, look at that. So this is a hardware identifier that's unique to my computer. And this is how the Wi-Fi network knows that I've paid or that I haven't paid for the service. Well, if I were a terrorist or an evildoer, I would want to maybe trick the network into thinking that I was someone else. So in order to do that, I would type ARP/A. And what's this? Here are some other fools on the network. Well, let's say this Peter's iPad person has paid for internet through whatever service. So I can simply Command C this MAC address here, and then what I can do is I can type sudo, that runs as an administrator, ifconfig en1 ether, Command V, the MAC address that I want to clone, and it should have asked my password and it didn't. Well, let's see. ifconfig en1 pipe grep ether. There we go. So I am now this person. I am now Peter's iPad, even though I'm clearly running a Macintosh here. So let's say that this Peter chump had paid for the wireless internet service at the hotel, the airport, the coffee shop, whatever. Well, that's good for him, but now I can access the internet as him. Obviously, this is a huge vulnerability in the internet. Somebody could travel from coast to coast getting free internet at every, common venue, every public place, pretty much, without having to pay at all. But more importantly, without being tracked, because without having rendered their credit card, the government would not have a way of knowing who exactly was accessing that internet. And of course, if they wanted to go even further, they could use the Tor network, which has this address, torproject.org, and that would bounce their connection all around the world, and it would be and encrypt the traffic. It would be virtually impossible for the government to trace them. So hopefully they will fix these vulnerabilities soon, and they'll go back to being able to trace everybody and make sure that everybody pays. Obviously, don't do this, because it's a crime and you'll probably get locked up and sent to Guantanamo Bay. Uh, but hopefully they'll patch this soon. Although now that I think about it, this is probably a flaw that's kind of inherent to Wi-Fi routers and the architecture of the internet. So it'd be really difficult for them to fix this. Anyway, Peter here. God bless America.